Hello everyone, it's Miss Cheryl at Sacred Heart Montessori, and today we are going to do some addition. So all you need is, well, you can choose. You might want to do the addition on your abacus, or you might want to use some kind of objects. It could be Cheerios, it could be barrettes. I have these little magnets that I'm going to use because it makes it easier for me to show you what I'm doing. But you can choose. You might want to do a mix of both. And the little booklet that has these addition equations in it. And each one has a number at the top. 1 plus, and then it's 2 plus, and the next page is 3 plus, all the way up. So we'll start with 1 plus, and I'll show you a few of those. We'll do it together, and then you'll get to work on it on your own and see how far you want to go today, and then you can save some for tomorrow and the next day. Take your time. So let's start with this one. Now we might not need to do this on the abacus, but we are just for fun. So it says 1 plus 1 equals, and we need to figure out what number goes over here. What is 1 plus 1? I think you already know. But if it was a more challenging one, we could put it right, let me turn this the right way for you, right here, and we would show, we would have 1, then we leave a space, plus 1 equals 2. And so then you can write in this space right here, you write a 2. And then we can do the next one. And you know what? I'm going to write it. I recommend using pencil when you're writing your math equations because sometimes you might want to change it. Now, if I write on pencil, it's really hard for you to see it on the video. So I'm going to use a marker instead. But don't use a marker on your own. I'm only using this because it helps you see it on the video. But in real life and normally when I'm doing it, I always use a pencil for my math. So pretend like this is a pencil that I'm writing with, even though it's a green marker. 1 plus 1 equals 2. And then the next one says 1 plus 2. So the cool thing about these is they're all going to start with the same number, and then we add different numbers to it. See how all of these are starting with 1? So I think what I might do for fun on the abacus is go ahead and put 1 on all of my lines. So this is my 1 plus 1. I have 1, 1, 1. So they're all starting with 1. Alright, so here we're going to do 1 plus 1. Then we'll do 1 plus 2. What's 1 plus 2? 3. So then we would write a 3 as the sum for 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 is another number that starts over here on the left side. Bumpity bump. 3. Now, and we'll keep going and we'll get to some bigger numbers. And they might get so big that they don't fit on one line of the abacus. So, let me show you what it would look like if you wanted to try it on with using some objects. So, I'm going to use this because it lets my magnet stick to it. So let's say, what if we were doing, you'll go down in order, but let's pretend we did all of these and we're all the way down here to do 1 plus 6. Let's look at what that would be like. I'm going to do 1 plus 6. 6 is 5 and 1. And remember to try and do it, arrange your numbers in a way that you can see the number that you're making, that you can visualize it, and use your subitizing skills to see just how many there are. So if I'm making 6, I bet you can tell how many that is. I made a 4 square. If I put 1 in the middle, now it is 5. 5 and 1 is 6. Alright, so what do I have? 1 plus 6. So, to put them together, I'm just going to move this one, my 1 over here. Now I see 5 and 2. What is that? 7. And if you're not sure, you can always count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is 5 and 2. So you can also do your addition using objects, and then you'll still just write it in on your paper. Now, I want to show you what might happen after, probably not on the first, it might not happen on the first couple pages. Actually, it might on the second page. But with the bigger numbers, they're not all going to fit on one line of the abacus. You know, we've been practicing 10 pairs. Well, some of these numbers are going to be even bigger than our 10 pairs. And so we're going to need 2 lines on the abacus. So let's pretend that we are all the way to the page that starts with 8, the 8 plus page. Alright, and we're going to pretend like we started up here and we did all of these. I'm going to do, maybe I'll do 8 plus 5. Let's see what happens. Okay, so on my abacus, let me arrange this better. Alright, so we're going to pretend that I did all of these, 8 plus 1, 8 plus 2, and now all the way up to here, and I'm ready to do 8 plus 5. So, do you remember how to put 8 on the abacus? 8 is 5 and 3. There's 8. And what do I need to add? 5. 8 plus 5. But there aren't 5 here. So I'm going to put 5 on the second row. 8 plus 5. Now, for me to join these together, I want to join my sets together. So I'm going to take this bead that's down here on the second row, and I want to move it to the top row. So I'm going to take it from the second row and give it to the top row. It's the same amount, right? It's still 1 bead. We're just moving it to this top line. Okay, so now instead of 8 and 5, I have 9 and 4. Let's move 1 more. Okay, so I'm going to take the bead from the second row and give it to the top row. I still have the same number of beads, I'm just moving it up. I moved 2 from here up to here. So now I have, the whole row is 10, 3. 10, 3. 1, 10, 3. Or the traditional name is 13. So I'm going to write 1, 10, 3 is my sum. Get my marker. Alright, so here it says 8 plus 5 equals, and we discovered that that was 1, 10, 3. So now it is your turn to try this on your own. And again, you can try it with the abacus or some objects or maybe a little bit of both. And just do as much as feels like a good amount of challenge, but not so much that you get too tired. And if you have any questions about it, you can let us know.